Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb, and today I'm doing the Booktube TMI tag, and this tag was created by JIIX Books. I cannot pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it, but I'll put the original video down in the down bar. And also, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my computer where I'm looking at the questions. Also, this weekend I was going to do a review, but I decided not to do a review on that book once again. It was a reread for me. I just didn't want to do a book review because it's kind of hard because it's a biographical self-help book kind of thing. So it'd be kind of hard to evaluate it. So I just thought I'd do a tag, and this one looked like fun, and it's been circling around. And for once, I'm actually on track with tags because I've been catching up with my Booktube watching. 1. Whose clothes style from a book character do you like? I'm not sure because I did not pick an answer for this one. So this one will be a tentative, and I will hopefully write down my answer in the description box. So let's get started. So number 1, whose clothes style from a book character do you like? And personally, I'm not sure because books are not, like, I don't really read books with pictures in them for that, like, to see the clothing. So I can't really judge that. So I don't really have an answer for that one. 2, your book boyfriend / fictional crush. I would pick Jace Garrett from My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick because he was just so 3, sweet. Ever loved a character but then started hating him? For that, I would pick Ezra Fitz from the Pretty Little Liars series. If you guys have made it to book 10, I think it's book 10 or 11, one of those, you know what I mean. 4, biggest / longest book on your shelf. That I think would be David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Yes, I think that's bigger than Under the Dome by Stephen King. I believe so. One of those two. Heaviest book on my shelf. This involves a lot looking at my shelf. I did not realize this watching others. So heaviest book on my shelf. Let's look. I probably still have to say, like, if it's a book, I would have to say Under the Dome by Stephen King, I think. Besides the books up there, but they're not that heavy compared to Under the Dome. So I'm going to say Under the Dome by Stephen King. 6, do you have any book posters? No, I don't have any book posters. I've gotten posters before in books, but I don't hang them up. Do you have any book-themed jewelry? No, I don't have any book-themed jewelry. I feel like a real slacker in that department. Book OTP, I have way too many to just pick one. 9, favorite book series. I would say the Pretty Little Liars series by Sarah Shepard because it has a special place in my heart, and it's just so good, and it's been with me for so long, and I really need to get the 16th book. Like, it just needs to come. 10, favorite book to movie soundtrack. Now, I haven't listened to very many book to movie soundtrack. I've only listened to book to TV soundtracks. I don't own any, but the one I sampled the most, I would say, was the Divergent movie, so I'll just say that one. A book story you miss / wish would continue. Now, for this one, I'm going to say The Castaways and see where the children of the parents are at nowadays after, like, all that scandal in that book. That'd be pretty cool. Favorite standalone, I'd say, was Dying to Know You by Aidan Chambers. Since when do you read books? I've always been really interested in books, but I started officially learning how to read them when I was like 5, 6 years old and haven't stopped. 14, which Hogwarts house are you in? I haven't read Harry Potter and I don't watch the movies. And now before I get like a big backlash, I tried reading the first book. It's just not something that like grabs me. Like, I feel like if I got pushed to read, I wouldn't like it as much. Like, in the future, if I feel like reading it, I'll pick it up. But right now, it's not a story that really interests me. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying that, but for my personal reading taste, I'm not big into the supernatural, and I know it's much more than that. I know there's so many diehard fans. It's just not something I've really been inclined to pick up, and I'd rather not be pushed to read it. I'd rather want to read it when I want to read it, if I ever do read it. But I don't, like, hate on it. I just am impartial. 15, quality you look for in a book. I'd say character growth is one thing I really like. I like when a character kind of is, like, grows and learns more by the end of the book because it makes me really interested to see how people, like, the characters develop. Favorite book quote? Let me get this. So I have a lot of favorite book quotes from Dying to Know You by Aidan Chambers, as you can see a lot. But one of the ones that really, really made me think, which I really like, is, it's just a little passage, so I'll read it. So, where is it? I'd seen a chess set when she took me from the living room to the kitchen. I play chess, so for something to say, I asked her if she played. She said she did and I would like a game. Do you play? Sorry, no. You should, it's a good game. I'm not a games player. To my mind, there are enough chances to fail in life without inventing more, but I've always liked the look of the pieces. And I just never thought of games as being something more that somebody would fail at. I just like, I know it's so simple to think of a concept, but it just hit me, and I really love a lot of the quotes in this book, but that was one that really stood out. Favorite author, I do not have a favorite author. I have a lot of authors I really like, but I cannot pick a favorite. It's like picking a favorite book. Like I do have my favorite like I don't have an ultimate favorite book. I have like a favorite standalone, a favorite mystery, like there's a lot of favorites. So I wouldn't say I have a favorite author. Where am I now? 18. Favorite book cover. If you want to watch this, I'll link my top 5 Wednesday down the down bar where I talk about my top 5 favorite covers. I can't think what I put for my first one. Like I can think of like the mixture, but I don't know which one I ranked first, which is really bad because it's my favorite cover, but I'm just not in the right elements right now. 19, action or romance. So I think I'm not going to pick an or. I'm just going to pick a mix of it because that would make a really good dystopian. 20, where do you go when a sad moment happens? Usually to my room to sulk or, sit somewhere and calm down. 21, how long do you need to finish a book? So in the school year, I need about a week to finish a book. But in the summer, I'd say 3 to 4 days. It just matters how long the book is. But for an average sized book, I'd say that long. How long is your morning period? So usually it's a day. I don't really go a day without picking up a book, at least reading one page. I really haven't since I started reading. But sometimes I might rarely take most of the day off and then pick up a book at night. I just don't go long. But even if I have a new book, I'm still in the back of my mind thinking about the other books. So it really depends. But it doesn't prohibit me from moving on. 23, least favorite book, Secret Garden. Do not know the author. I know it's a classic and I know there's a love story, but I had to read that for grade 8. One of the things that offended me was that I was in the reading group I was in, we got small books and I was kind of like, really, like, I read a lot, but there's the other people got to read really good books that were bigger, but I got put in the groups that, we have really thin books and they were really not anything I was interested in. And I remember that book. I could not get through it. That was the only book I've ever looked up Spark Notes for, unless I was trying to find a detail that I missed in a book. But I could not read that book. I used to set a timer and I'd be hitting myself in the arm and be like, Rachel, read it. You love reading. Could not get through it. I have to say, I've never been able not to get through a book that bad. That was really bad. Just bring me back to those angry memories about that. 24, turn on in a character. I would say passionate, being a passionate person, and turn off in a character, I'd say would just be rude. Rude characters, don't really like those. There's a difference between being cocky as a joke and then straight out rude. Reason I joined Booktube. I joined Booktube so I could talk to other people who read, and I really like just the video concept, and yeah, it's just a way to express my creativity and talk to others. 27, name a scary book. I don't really have any scary books that I've really read. Yeah, I haven't really read any scary books. I try to stay away from them. The books I've read that are considered scary are not really that scary to me. So, I don't know. Maybe a Stephen King book. I haven't read Under the Dome yet, so that's probably scary, but I do not know. 28, last book that made you cry. I would say Dying to Know You by Aidan Chambers. It made me tear up. I don't really cry. My eyes get a little watery and then I put the book down, but I don't straight up cry. Last book they gave 5 stars. So I don't use the Goodreads rating system because for the longest time I was really opposed to Goodreads because I hate how it organizes the books. It just stresses me out. I'm one of those people, I need to just organize. And it's even stressing me out now. I used to categorize them by books I read each month, but now it's just, I just can't handle it. So I don't really rate my books on that, but I rate my books in my own rating system, which if you've watched one of my reviews, you know that rating system. But I forget the book I gave last 5 stars, which would be 5s across the board. I forget. I don't even know why I'm forgetting what I'm reading. I think it was The Rosie Effect. No, it wasn't The Rosie Effect. Maybe The Rosie Project by Graham Seamsian. I forget which book I gave the highest score to lately. 30, any favorite book titles, and I did another top 5 Wednesday about this, and I'll try to remember to link both those in the down bar, but on my channel, if you just search top 5 Wednesday, you should find it, if you're interested in looking at that. I think Etiquette and Espionage won first place for me, for some reason. Not for some reason that I picked it, but I think that for some reason. Just to And I'll see that. 31, last book you read. So the last book I read was How Proust Can Change Your Life by Alain de Botton, and I just finished it this morning. 32, book you're currently reading, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. 33, last book adaptation you watched. I would say Divergent. Wait, that was in March. Have I really not gone to the movie theaters? No, I saw The Fault in Our Stars. Divergent was in March, right? Yeah, because I had school. Wow. Time flies. I think The Fault in Our Stars. I think that was the last book movie adaptation I watched. I really want to see Gone Girl, though, soon. I should have already been able to see it, but once again, schoolwork. 34, a book character you always wanted to talk to. I would say The Offer from Dying to Know You. I know I'm being very repetitive. Or either that for like a serious one. But if I was like a talk show host, I would pick whoever's A in the 16th book revealed to talk to them, but like talk to them and get all the answers, but then they don't hunt me down because I know all the answers. So like I'd be really safe. That's mine. 35, an offer you always wanted to talk to. I would say Sarah Shepard. I really love her books, so I really want to talk to her. Favorite book snack. So if I'm going to eat when I'm reading, typically either if I'm eating a meal and I'm sitting at the table reading, but for a book snack, I would probably pick banana cream pie jelly beans, which I get every few months and sometimes nibble when I read. 37, book world you want to live in. Just a contemporary setting. There's no like special world because I wouldn't want to live in a dystopian world because those worlds are really messed up most of the time. So, you know, I really live in a contemporary society. I'm pretty happy where I am. Least world you'd want to live in, I'd probably say the Hunger Games because it gets quite vicious down there, and yeah, no. 39, last time you smelled a book. So it was actually yesterday. It was this book my sister, she's reading a book for school, and she asked me if I could read this part to see if I understand it, and if I smelled vinegar, so I like smelled the book to see if it was actually that smell or if it was someone cooking in the kitchen or something. I'm still not sure what it was. Sorry if you can hear yelling. My family members are just yelling to each other across the room. 40, weird insults used in books. I just like really corny insults that are like kind of like pun insults and just funny stuff, not like really like vicious insults. It's really hard to find my place in this list. 41, favorite romance book. I'd probably say one by Katie McGarry because those ones are like new adult romance, so I picked those. 42, do you write? Yes, but I'm trying to find more time to do it, especially because this month's NaNoWriMo. Not that I'm doing NaNoWriMo, but just, you know, inspires you to write more. 43, favorite magical item. I don't know. I don't really read many magical books. All I can think of is stuff from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So I'm going to say Sabrina from Sabrina Teenage Witch's Vacuum because I'm sure it shows up in one of the books I have, the Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. 44, your Quidditch position. Once again, I haven't read Harry Potter. I know what Quidditch is. It's the sport that they play when the little yellow thing. Yeah, I'm not very educated on that, but I know if I saw what it is, but I do not know any positions or whatever. 45, name a song you connect to a book. I would say the Hey Ocean Is album. I know it's an album. And I would connect it to Dear John because that's the last book review I did where I connected a song to a book. 47, favorite book-related chat-up line. I do not know any. And 47, have you ever used it? No, because I do not know any. 48, favorite book fandom. I'd say the Pretty Little Liars fandom because one of my favorite things is not only getting the book, but after I finish the book, usually you'd be like, oh, like that. But you guys, like, we have such great discussions, and I'm so excited for the next book to come out because it's just another great discussion with you guys that read the book. I know not all of you read the book, so for you who do read the book. 49, how many books do you own? I do not know. I haven't counted in a while. I know it's at least over 200. Maybe. I don't know, but if you watch my bookshelf tour and you want to count, feel free. Because I am too tired right now to count. 50, who do you tag? So I'm going to tag everybody who hasn't done this that wants to do this tag. And if you've done this tag, let me know in the comments below because this is actually a really fun tag. And yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.